My house is haunted. When I first moved into the old house on Crow's Lane, the real estate agent told me one thing. If you hear knocking after midnight, don't open the door. I laughed it off. Who takes that seriously? The house was quiet for the first 2 nights. But on the 3rd night, at exactly 12:17 a.m., I woke to a slow, heavy knock, knock at my front door. Half asleep, I went downstairs, ready to tell off whoever thought this was funny. When I peeked through the peephole, there was nothing but darkness. No porch, no street, just black. It was as if someone had draped a thick curtain over the world outside. The knocking continued. This time, it came from the back door. Then from the upstairs window. Then from inside the walls. I tried to turn on the lights, but none of them worked. The air grew cold enough to see my breath. A whisper slid through the darkness. You moved into my house. Something brushed my ankle. I bolted upstairs and locked myself in the bedroom, heart pounding. Through the crack under the door, I saw it. Long, pale fingers sliding into the room, followed by a smile that didn't belong to any human face. The last thing I remember was the knocking starting again, this time on my bedroom door. The bedroom door rattled with each knock. Knock, knock, knock. I pressed my back against the wall, clutching the lamp in my hands like a weapon. The voice returned, low and wet, as though it spoke through water. You let me in, you always let me in. The doorknob began to turn, slowly, deliberately. I lunged forward and swung the lamp with all my strength. It shattered against the door, but the knocking never stopped. If anything, it grew faster. Suddenly, the sound came from behind me. I spun around. My bedroom window, which had been locked, now hung wide open. Outside, there was no yard, no street, just a yawning void, swirling and hungry. From it, pale hands reached out and grabbed the sides of the frame. A head followed, smiling, eyes completely black, skin too tight over its skull. You moved into my house, it whispered again, its mouth stretching wider than should be possible. I stumbled backward, but the floor beneath me softened. My carpet wasn't carpet anymore, it was fingers. They curled around my ankles and pulled me toward the window. I screamed, clawing at the walls, but the hands were too strong. The last thing I saw before I was dragged into the dark was my bedroom, empty, untouched, like I'd never been there at all. They say the house on Crow's Lane is abandoned, but if you listen after midnight, you can still hear knocking from inside the walls.